What is going on, everybody? My name is Northy, and today I'm here for the round 20 review. That I apologize for being late, but I'm back at university for my second semester of 2, so nearly done for my course, and I guess that's a little insight on me, but you guys, of course, want to see what I have done so far for this round, and it's been a very interesting round in the sense that it looks like a lot of people were successful, which is really, really good to see, but I am going to get into this video after I quickly say, if you could, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. We are trying to smash out our goals this year, trying to hit 5k by the end of the year. That is the ultimate goal that I have created. I want to hit 5,000 before the end of the year, so if you can help me get there, that'd be amazing. But nonetheless, I appreciate everyone who's tuned in nonetheless to this video. Hope you guys enjoy what you see, and let's get into the video. So here we are. This is what we have got, and we are looking at. For some reason, the forward is missing. I think I know who it is. It's Charlie Curnow, but I didn't even know I could do that. I could click here and it tells you all the scores. That's not bad. That's pretty cool. All right. Other than that, let's have a look at what our teams are going and looking like this week. We'll go to tips. Probably more of the usual, although a few surprises, for example. 6 out of 9 is not a surprise. That's not the surprise I was talking about. But Sydney losing to the Dogs, that makes it 3 or 4 losses out of the most recent 5. So pretty insane there. We've got Hawthorn beating Adelaide. Glad I got that right by a long shot. Collingwood finally beating a team. It was a very unconvincing win against Richmond, to give a little bit, I guess, background to that result. But nonetheless, a win for Collingwood. GWS just beat Melbourne by 2. Melbourne have been showing a lot of fight considering how their season and how their team is looking. It's just been a rough one. I got the Saints over Essendon. I don't know how I got it. Just had a hunch and it worked out well. Gold Coast's streak of home wins and away losses has come to an end in the worst way possible. They have lost at home to Brisbane, lost to Q Clash, so that is unfortunate. Gold Coast season, most likely, if not 100% over. And Carlton losing to Port, that was the Friday night matchup that I'm very, very shocked Carlton had managed to find a way to blow that game. Very shocked. Freo won the Western Derby. That was a good one for a little bit. West Coast made it interesting to start, and then Freo pulled away. But nonetheless, 6 out of 9, nothing really new. Nothing too out of the ordinary for us, as we all know. But let's go over to Star Power. This is what we had for our Star Powers team, and honestly, very, very happy with the Star Powers this week. The ones that I want to shout out real quick, Zane Zorko, 139. That's amazing. Thought about keeping him in over Max Gawn now that he was back, and absolutely the right decision. If you wanted to do well in Silver Star Powers this week, you had to have Dane, and that's what we did. We had Dane. Great stuff. Then we go to Next Gen. Could have been better. I would have loved something different from Nick, who was about 20 off the best. Cam Rayner, so leaving something open there. I think the only ones comparable is Cam Rayner, and then a 99 from Horn Francis, so good work if he got Horn Francis, I guess. He's super inconsistent this year, but I'm not too mad at that pick. I think it definitely could have been worse, that Nick Martin pick. We've also got the Lockie Whitfield pick. That one ended up topping the week. If you had Tom Stewart, also a good pick, 122, but we are still up there. We go to Merit, and this one was looking exciting, but unfortunately not working out in our favor. Lockie Neal taking it with 129, second Adam Treloar, and this is where I would have dropped points. I was really excited because Merit had an amazing start, and then everyone on the Bombers dropped off. Not sure what happened, but I guess if you're a Saints fan, you don't care. That's an amazing result for you. Even Jack Sinclair doing better, so that's definitely tough. I was really, really happy with my pick to start the game. Merit looked like he was going to explode, and then just disappeared. So unfortunate result there. And then Brayshaw, not a bad pick either. Definitely some better ones. 115 though is good. Dacos finally showing up. It was against Richmond, so I guess you may have expected it. Dunkley's 128 as well. He's had one of those games where he just explodes. Sheasel, he's becoming even more consistent again. That's great to see. And Goulden, I'm not mad if I had picked him either. I would have lost a point on Brayshaw, but it doesn't really matter. One of the two. I just gained the extra point really, but all that means for Silver Star Powers is a rank 134. That is super tough. What a week for Silver Star Powers. You can see here, everyone in the top 10 had 600 points. 610 even, over 610 to get yourself a prize card this week in Silver Star Powers. That is ridiculous. A crazy week all around. 565 is not a bad score at all. I am just in shock as to how high these scores are. Had to be on point to get a Silver Star Powers card this week. Had to have Whitfield, had to have Zorko, You would have had to have a high scorer like Neil, like Dunkley. Both of those guys, I reckon, you would have been fine. You have a look here. Dacos is one as well. You could have maybe gotten away with Sheasel. I don't know. Had to be Whitfield or Stewart in here. In midfield, you had to be Neil and you had to be Treloar. So, like, some very obscure picks, but I'm surprised that many people had picked them up. That was a crazy performance from those guys, and I've been punished for it, even though it doesn't really feel much like a punishment. That just feels like very unlucky. But we're going to go to Ultra now, and like I showed the other week, not too much change. Zorko's 139 helps out. Unfortunately, no double points, but that's okay. Wasn't expecting much. Nick Martin's 87. Disappointing for sure. Would have loved to have found a different double point somewhere else. Of course, Whitfield has remained amazing this month and a half. 127. Double that gives me a lot more. And Errol Gordon's 114 plus is great. We have Dacos. I haven't used him for a while. Maybe I should have against Richmond. He did get given that halfback flank role as well. That used to help him rack up a ton of disposals. But yeah, Dacos 128. That is kind of what people expected most of the year. But yeah, there he is. Would have been nice to get that double points too. It gave us rank 43. This is not a bad performance. Again, I really was thinking that this team would have done it, knowing how team star powers is compared to regular star powers. But unfortunately, about 20 spots off. So not even a bad performance. A few changes would have been Nick Martin. I would have had a double point somewhere else. If we had Tom Green, Caleb Sarong, one of those guys, good chances we would have done it. Looking at the points, we're 60 off the top 10, so I'd imagine we're not that far off the top 20 either. So it is what it is. You can't do much. Just very close. It's where I was expecting the double or the prize card if I were to get one, and unfortunately it just hasn't turned out that way. That's all good. It is what it is. You move on. We've had some pretty good weeks and a little bit of unluckiness here and there for this week. I'm really not all that stressed about it. We did well. That's all I can really ask for. Top team, no. We're going to look at top team, and this lineup wasn't too bad. Really happy with this lineup. Kerno ended up being the best forward of the week. Just though, to be fair, with the 113, I'm not mad at all. Thank you very much, Charlie Kerno. We had Rowan Marshall. Wasn't the best ruckman, but second best is not that bad either. Sherry again. 156, 54 hit outs. My goodness. Sherry, that is all Australian potential, my friend. I am so happy for you. So happy. But Rowan Marshall not far off with 135. Does leave 20 points on the board, though. Then we look at Andy Brayshaw. Not bad from him either. 115. The fourth best. Nearly said second. Fourth best performance of the week. Happy for sure. Both the Brisbane boys, if you had one or the other, you would have had an amazing week. Treloar up there as well. Had one of his weeks where he does really well. 40 posies. That's very good for him. Yeah, and then Brayshaw in that fourth place looking very pretty, even though if I picked Gordon, 1 point off, same as star powers. But we'll take the extra point. That helps out. Every point matters at this time of the year, especially right now. And then we look at Whitfield, 1 point off of the number one scorer. 128 Nick Dacos, which, again, fairly happy. Not mad at all. Very much going to take that. 35 posies, 6 marks, 2 1%ers. It was kind of expected now. I think he's really starting to find the ball a lot more. I think he's just finding the right spots that his team needs him in right now. And it resulted in a win. So good on him. I think they're still sitting in the 8. So that's all they need. They just need to keep getting those wins, keep pushing themselves up, because teams are crumbling at the moment, man. Teams are crumbling. So 127 from him. This is an overall really good week, but still not a prize card. My God, like I said at the start, lots of people did well, and I really mean it. Like nearly 500 points, and I was 67. That's ridiculous. That is crazy. I had the best forward, the second best ruckman, the fourth best midfielder, and the second best backman. And that got me 67. I knew the minute that I saw that, I was like, okay, that's all good. It just means that I've probably still got rank 1. I'd assume so at least. I'd hope that I'm not only 30 points in front of everyone else, because that's all it is between me and number 1. 31 points. If I wanted a prize card, 20 points. If I picked Sherry over Marshall, there it is, bang, just like that. And there's not many other changes I could have made. Maybe picked one of the Brisbane boys, I'd get a bit closer, but like still not enough for a prize card. It had to have been the Sherry change. If I had done Sherry instead of Marshall, prize card. But like, I don't feel bad in not picking that. Like, I really don't. This is a really good week. And again, my aim is number 1. We're still number 1. 490 points is insane. It's a great week. I'm just upset that it's not involving a prize card. I guess it's just the way it goes sometimes, hey. I can't do much about it. Gotta keep moving. But top 18 we're gonna look at now, and a few really positive signs. They're obviously picking number 1, Charlie Curnow here. Heaney having a good week back. Cameron playing well too. Disappointing one, we swapped out Green, Toby Green. And there he is at 103. We have a really nice way of doing that. It just always happens. 70 for Hogan is not bad, for a forward at least. I'm not too mad at it. It's just knowing that it could have been Green. We took out Myers, and of course he dropped 98. Maybe I should have kept him in because he was up against North, but I thought Myers does have the potential to let down sometimes. I'll maybe hold off on it. And it bit me. It really did bite me. It happens. I'm not stressed this week. This has been a good week overall. Ginnivan and Danaher both not having the games I expected. Ginnivan, he was not really that needed in the win against Adelaide. He smashed it. He did his own thing. Only got 14 posies after a 30 posie week. He felt quiet. I watched most of the game. He felt like he didn't have much of an impact. He's had a pretty much bang average game for the season. Had 2 goals. He did play well. And then Danaher, very unlike Danaher here. Only the 10 possessions. Not that many hitouts it looks like too. Very disappointing. Would have liked to see a bit more from him. But yeah, 3 good forwards. 3 bad forwards. We can't really afford it, but I'm not going to stress all that much. Good ruck pick. Andy Brayshaw we talked about. Golden in there too. Merritt, he's one that I'm really disappointed in. Walsh, I'm going to have to kind of back off from Walsh now. He's starting to put up way too many average 100-point games, which sure, it's fine, but I want these guys up the top. If I see your name in green up here, you're a good pick. So everything under green, so Walsh and Merritt, it's not what I want to see. Usually Merritt's old reliable, but it just wasn't this week. And then I'm going to move to the back line. So a few unfortunate things, first off. The good ones, Sinclair, Whitfield, Sheasel, Stewart. All of them amazing. You'll see all 4 of them right there. Look how good that is. Sinclair, so nice to see his name up there doing good things for me. I knew that holding out on him would pay off, and I'm glad it did. Whitfield, Stewart, Sheasel, they've been so good consistently. Stewart especially, very happy with how he's been going. Dacos finally had himself a good game again. I mean, I could have used the extra points for sure. We've used them a lot in the past, but his poor performances as of late just hasn't had me picking him. And maybe it's because it was against Richmond. He's done so well, but I just didn't see the point to use him again. Young, he's starting to kind of pull away from the top in terms of he's getting less than usual. No marks is quite surprising from Young. He's a super high effective ball user. He just doesn't get as many disposals as those top tier players. So he's a great player for Fremantle, been doing amazing this year, but at the same time, just he doesn't do as well on Teamcoach as many other players would. So it is what it is. Looks like a lot of tackles though, which is great for him. And then the surprise one, not even to his fault, was Jordan Ridley with 25. Probably the reason we didn't get a prize card in this game mode. Subbed injured in the very first few minutes of the game. We could have used a Newman, we could have used a Dacos, but you can't predict these things sometimes. It is just pure unluckiness. Saw it and I'm like, damn, really wish that didn't happen. I hope it hadn't have come to bite me, but it kind of did. 103, 1760. Again, could have used the extra points. We're about 90 off. So if I'd switched him in with a Dacos, that's a prize card. That's a prize card this week. But you can't blame it just on Ridley, especially off of injury. I'm not going to. I feel like we could have done something a lot different that would have helped us out. But something that I want to point out, the dude in number 1, he is currently listed Sama PT, or Sam APT, whatever his name is. I am currently 140 points off him. I am not that far away, which means oh man, I was so close to rank 1 last week. So close. Ridiculously close to rank 1. I'm under 50 points. I was right there. Could have been seeing a rank 1 and rank 1, but he pulls away, has a good lead now. I need to pull my socks up, get myself a good week next week. This top 18 is going to be one of the most important game modes into the end of the season. Star Powers, we've done great. Not worried about the season. Just want to get the prize cards. This is where it all matters right now. I want 1 and 1. That is my ultimate goal. I'm happy if I can keep 1 here as long as I possibly can. That's awesome. But we want number 1 here as well now. There's just nothing around it. There's no beating around the bush. We can go 1 and 1. That is, we win top team. That is really all I can say. We win top team. Amazing if we can do it, but very happy overall. I think a great week all around in terms of total scores. Probably the least happy with top 18 this week, but that's saying a lot considering Like, that's not a bad score at all. No, I'm not disappointed in it. Obviously, would have loved to see over 1,800, but you can't win them all. It just means next week we've got to come back stronger, and with some spots here on the board that can use some improvement. We absolutely can. Anyways, that is all I have got here for you guys today. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more like it, be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel again if you are new. I love doing this stuff, and we are literally in the last month of the year for these Teamcoach games, so it's a long stretch. Let me know, where do you want to finish for the season? Obviously, I told you my top team, I want to be 1-1. Big ask from me, but it's possible. There's the possibility, and I'm really excited for it, so let me know how you think you are going to do to finish off the season, and I hope to see you all very, very soon for next week's preview, round 21. So thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.